The BTS ARIRANG behind-the-scenes moments have already given fans plenty to talk about, but one particular interaction between Jungkook and Jimin has attracted a different kind of attention. It was not necessarily a huge dramatic moment, nor was it something that needed a spotlight or a long explanation. Instead, it was the kind of small gesture that becomes meaningful because of the relationship fans have watched develop between the members over so many years. When Jimin appeared to be having a difficult moment, fans naturally began looking more closely at Jungkook's reaction, wondering whether the youngest member of BTS had quietly noticed that something was not quite right. What makes the moment especially interesting is the atmosphere surrounding BTS ARIRANG. Behind the polished performances, powerful choreography, bright lights, and enormous expectations, there are long rehearsals, exhausting schedules, travel, preparation, and countless moments that viewers never normally get to see. A behind-the-scenes setting can reveal a completely different side of artists because there is less emphasis on performance and more room for natural reactions. That is why even a brief glance, a change in expression, or a simple act of consideration can suddenly become one of the most discussed moments among fans. Jungkook and Jimin have shared countless memorable moments throughout BTS history, so their interactions often receive special attention. Their friendship has developed through years of working together, traveling together, practicing together, and experiencing both enormous achievements and difficult periods as a group. Because of that history, fans sometimes notice tiny details between them that might otherwise go unnoticed. In the ARIRANG behind-the-scenes footage, Jungkook's apparent awareness of Jimin's condition became one of those moments that encouraged fans to look beyond the stage. The important thing, however, is separating what viewers can actually see from what they assume happened privately. A short video cannot reveal everything about someone's health or feelings. Jimin may have simply been tired, uncomfortable, or having a quieter moment, and Jungkook's reaction can be interpreted as a natural expression of concern between close friends. Still, that interpretation is exactly what made the moment emotionally powerful for many viewers. Sometimes the smallest reactions communicate more than a dramatic speech ever could. One reason the moment stood out was Jungkook's apparent attentiveness. Rather than treating everything around him as part of the hectic schedule, he seemed to notice what was happening nearby. That kind of awareness can be especially important during demanding production periods, when everyone is focused on their own responsibilities. BTS members have spent so many years together that they have developed an understanding of one another's habits and moods, making it possible for one member to recognize when another member simply needs a little extra consideration. Jimin, meanwhile, has always been known for giving enormous energy to performances. Whether performing choreography, singing live, or interacting with fans, he frequently puts a tremendous amount of effort into what he does. That makes behind-the-scenes moments particularly fascinating because the contrast becomes obvious. The person viewers see delivering an intense performance on stage is also someone who needs rest and recovery away from the spotlight. Seeing that quieter reality can make the finished performance feel even more impressive. For fans watching ARIRANG content, this contrast creates an emotional connection. The stage presents BTS as an enormous global act, surrounded by technology, production, lighting, dancers, and thousands of fans. Behind the scenes, however, the members remain individuals who can become tired, laugh together, worry about one another, and simply share ordinary moments. That difference between superstar and everyday human being is one of the reasons BTS behind-the-scenes content continues to attract such strong interest. Jungkook's reaction therefore becomes meaningful not because it proves a particular medical situation, but because it shows the possibility of genuine attentiveness between two people who have known each other for a very long time. When someone notices that a friend is not completely comfortable, even a quiet gesture can carry emotional weight. There is no need for a dramatic announcement. Sometimes looking over, checking the situation, or simply staying nearby can communicate support. The timing also adds another layer to the discussion. ARIRANG represents a major chapter for BTS, and expectations surrounding the project are enormous. Fans are watching performances, choreography, music, styling, interviews, and every behind-the-scenes detail with extraordinary attention. In an environment where every movement can be analyzed, a natural interaction between two members can quickly become a topic of conversation. Yet the most touching interpretation may simply be that friendship still exists beneath all the enormous expectations surrounding the group. Jungkook has often shown a playful and energetic personality, which makes quieter moments involving him particularly noticeable. When someone known for being lively suddenly becomes observant or serious, viewers naturally wonder what caught their attention. In this case, fans interpreted his behavior as concern for Jimin. Whether that was exactly what Jungkook was thinking is something only he could confirm, but the emotional reaction from fans demonstrates how closely people follow the members' relationships. There is also something deeply familiar about the situation. Almost everyone understands what it feels like to notice that a friend is having a difficult day. Sometimes you do not need an explanation. You simply notice a change in their expression, the way they move, or the amount of energy they have. You may not even say much. You just become more attentive. That basic human reaction is what makes the moment relatable despite the enormous difference between the everyday lives of fans and the global world surrounding BTS. The ARIRANG behind-the-scenes footage also reminds viewers that major performances do not happen effortlessly. What appears on screen as a perfectly controlled performance is supported by hours of preparation. Every movement, camera angle, vocal part, transition, and stage element requires concentration. When someone is already exhausted, maintaining that level of precision becomes even more challenging. This makes moments of support between members particularly meaningful. Jimin's apparent difficulty during the moment therefore became a reminder that performers are not machines. Even the most experienced artists have moments when they need to slow down. BTS have spent years performing at an extraordinary level, but their success does not remove the normal limits of the human body. Behind every powerful stage moment is a person who needs breaks, food, water, sleep, and time to recover. This is also why fans should be careful when discussing clips like this online. It can be tempting to turn a few seconds of footage into a much larger story, especially when the members are involved. But speculation can easily become misinformation when people begin describing an unconfirmed situation as established fact. The more responsible interpretation is to appreciate the visible interaction while leaving private matters to the people involved. Even with that caution, there is still plenty to appreciate emotionally. Jungkook noticing Jimin can be viewed as another example of the familiarity that exists between the BTS members. They have experienced countless milestones together. They have seen one another during exciting moments, stressful moments, exhausting schedules, and celebrations. Years of shared experiences naturally create a kind of understanding that is difficult to explain from the outside. For ARMY, these relationships are part of what makes BTS content so compelling. The music is obviously central, but the personalities and friendships surrounding the music have also become an important part of the group's identity. Fans do not only watch performances. They watch how the members laugh together, encourage one another, react to surprises, and support each other during demanding schedules. Those details create a feeling of familiarity even for people who have never met them personally. Jungkook and Jimin in particular have a long history of memorable interactions, ranging from playful moments to more emotional ones. Their personalities can be very different, yet that contrast often makes their friendship interesting. One moment they can be joking around, and another moment they can become surprisingly serious. That natural variation is part of what makes their interactions feel less manufactured and more like the complicated, evolving friendship between people who have grown up together. Another reason this moment captured attention is that it happened away from the traditional stage environment. On stage, artists are expected to perform. Behind the scenes, reactions are less predictable. A member looking toward another member, checking on them, or adjusting their behavior can feel more spontaneous. Fans naturally place greater emotional value on these unscripted moments because they seem to reveal the people behind the performers. The ARIRANG era itself carries enormous emotional significance for BTS fans. Every new appearance is being watched closely because the group has already experienced so many different chapters in its career. The members are no longer simply young performers beginning their journey. They are established global artists whose individual experiences and group history have become part of a much larger story. That makes every new behind-the-scenes glimpse feel like another piece of that history. Jimin's presence in this story is equally important. He has built a reputation for emotional expression, powerful stage presence, and an ability to connect with audiences. When fans see a quieter side of him, they naturally become protective and concerned. But that concern should remain grounded in what is actually shown rather than turning uncertainty into alarming claims. Supporting an artist also means respecting the boundaries around information that has not been publicly confirmed. Jungkook's apparent gesture can therefore be appreciated for what it represents: consideration. It does not need to become a dramatic medical story to be meaningful. A friend paying attention to another friend can be powerful precisely because it is simple. In a world where celebrity moments are often edited, analyzed, and amplified, small genuine-looking interactions can feel refreshing. There is also an interesting psychological reason why fans notice these moments so quickly. People naturally search for emotional cues. When we already know the personalities involved, even subtle changes can seem significant. A serious expression from Jungkook may be interpreted differently because fans already understand his usual playful personality. Likewise, Jimin appearing quieter can attract attention because viewers are familiar with his energetic performances. That does not mean every interpretation is correct. It simply means the audience is emotionally invested. The challenge is enjoying that emotional connection without allowing assumptions to become facts. In the case of ARIRANG, that distinction is particularly important because the project is receiving intense global attention and clips can spread rapidly across social media. One short moment can appear on thousands of timelines within hours. A fan may describe it as concern, another may call it friendship, and another may believe something more serious happened. Eventually, repeated speculation can start sounding like confirmed information even when nobody involved has actually said that. This is why the original footage and official statements remain much more important than dramatic captions or viral interpretations. Still, the emotional reaction to Jungkook and Jimin's interaction tells us something genuine about the audience. Fans care deeply about the members' well-being. They want to see them healthy, comfortable, and supported. When one member appears to notice another member struggling, fans naturally respond emotionally because it reflects the kind of care they hope exists within the group. For BTS, that sense of mutual support has always been part of their larger story. Their journey has included enormous successes, demanding schedules, personal growth, and periods of uncertainty. Through all of those experiences, the members have continued to share a connection built over many years. It is impossible for outsiders to know everything about their private relationships, but the long history visible to the public gives fans plenty of reasons to value moments of kindness. The behind-the-scenes environment also gives viewers an opportunity to see how different the members can be when cameras are not focused directly on a performance. Someone may be energetic in one scene and quiet in another. Someone may be joking one minute and concentrating deeply the next. These changes are normal, especially during long production days. That is why interpreting every quiet expression as a crisis would be unfair. Jimin's apparent fatigue or discomfort, if that is what viewers are interpreting, could have many ordinary explanations. Long rehearsals, travel, schedule changes, excitement, or simple tiredness can affect anyone. Without confirmation, there is no reliable way to determine exactly what he was experiencing. What can be appreciated is the supportive atmosphere fans believe they saw between the members. Jungkook's role in that moment is what makes the clip especially memorable. He did not need to make a major announcement. His apparent awareness itself became the focus. Sometimes support is not loud. It is simply being attentive when another person may need someone nearby. That kind of quiet consideration can be more meaningful than an elaborate public gesture. For longtime ARMY, scenes like this can also bring back memories of earlier BTS eras. Fans have watched the members grow from young artists into global stars. They have seen friendships evolve naturally over the years. They have watched jokes become traditions, small gestures become familiar habits, and ordinary interactions become treasured memories. A new behind-the-scenes moment can therefore carry emotional weight because it connects the present with everything that came before. The ARIRANG project also creates a unique atmosphere because expectations are so high. Fans want powerful music, memorable stages, and emotional moments, but they also want to know how the members are doing behind the scenes. That curiosity is understandable, yet it is important to remember that public content represents only a small part of their lives. A few minutes of footage cannot tell the complete story. Perhaps that is why the Jungkook-Jimin moment has resonated so strongly. It leaves room for emotion without requiring a dramatic explanation. Viewers can simply see two longtime members sharing a moment of attention and interpret it as an example of friendship. The absence of a huge dramatic scene may actually make it more touching. There is another detail worth considering. People often remember small moments more than major announcements. A giant stage can be spectacular, but a quiet interaction between two familiar faces can stay in someone's mind for much longer. Fans may replay the clip not because something enormous happened, but because the moment feels personal. That emotional intimacy is difficult to create intentionally. The reaction also highlights the relationship between BTS and their audience. ARMY members have followed the group through many stages of its career, so they have developed an enormous emotional investment in the members. When something appears to happen between two members, fans naturally discuss it, interpret it, and share their reactions. This is one of the reasons BTS behind-the-scenes footage can generate almost as much conversation as a major performance. But the healthiest way to enjoy such content is to focus on appreciation rather than fear. If Jimin was simply tired, fans can hope he gets proper rest. If Jungkook was simply being attentive, that can be appreciated as a kind gesture. If there was something more serious happening privately, only the people involved or an official source can explain it accurately. Until then, there is no reason to turn uncertainty into alarm. What remains undeniable is that the moment reminded fans how closely the BTS members can pay attention to one another. After so many years together, small reactions can carry a history that viewers only partly understand. A look between two members may seem insignificant to someone unfamiliar with BTS, while longtime fans immediately recognize the emotional context surrounding it. Jungkook's apparent concern also fits naturally into the broader image fans have of the members supporting each other. BTS have repeatedly spoken publicly about teamwork and the importance of the members. Their careers have never been built around one person alone. The group's identity has always depended on 7 individuals bringing different personalities, strengths, and perspectives together. Jimin's presence is equally essential to that balance. His performance style, voice, emotional sensitivity, and personality contribute something distinctive to BTS. When he appears vulnerable or simply less energetic than usual, fans naturally notice because they are accustomed to seeing him give so much on stage. That contrast can make even an ordinary behind-the-scenes moment feel unusually emotional. There is also something comforting about seeing a global superstar receive ordinary friendship. Fame can make celebrities seem distant from everyday life, but moments like this remind viewers that friendship still operates through simple things: noticing someone, staying close, offering reassurance, or recognizing when someone may need a little patience. Those actions do not require fame or a giant stage. As the ARIRANG story continues, fans will likely keep examining behind-the-scenes footage for moments that reveal the members' personalities. Some moments will be funny, some emotional, and others almost too small to notice at first. Yet those tiny details often become the memories that fans treasure most. They provide a different perspective on the people behind the music. The Jungkook and Jimin moment also demonstrates how quickly emotional stories can grow in the online world. A few seconds can become a headline, then a discussion, then thousands of comments. The original context can sometimes disappear beneath increasingly dramatic interpretations. That makes it even more important to return to the actual footage and distinguish observation from speculation. Instead of asking whether the moment proves something dramatic, perhaps the more meaningful question is what it tells us about friendship. Two people who have shared years of work can develop an instinctive awareness of one another. They may recognize subtle changes without needing a long conversation. Whether that was exactly what happened here or not, the possibility itself is what made the scene resonate with viewers. For fans, there is something deeply reassuring about seeing members support one another. BTS may be one of the biggest music groups in the world, but their personal connections remain one of the elements that make them relatable. The stage may be enormous, the audience may number in the thousands or millions, and the production may be specced.